What's going on, all you wild movie fans out there? Your two favorite smiley critics are back tonight. We're going to put a smile on that face. And that's right, these boys are back for another 31 Days of Horror video. And we've got something to smile about tonight as we have just got back from the local cinema. We've both got a chance to watch the brand new horror sequel from Uncle Parker Finn. He directed the underrated, and it kind of came out of nowhere, Smile from a couple years back with Kevin Bacon's daughter, Sosie Bacon, in the lead. This time it's all about pop star played by Naomi Scott. We're here to review Smile 2.
You're not in control! I am! I've been waiting for you.
That's right, Smile 2, a movie that everybody's been talking about recently, especially in the month of October, just being released. And a movie I wasn't really looking forward to all that much. The first one came out a few years ago, and I thought it was pretty good. I didn't love it or hate it or anything, but I thought it was pretty good. But this time around, Parker Finn returning to direct and write this film, this different take on the sequel, having to do with the pop star of being Skye Riley, played by Naomi Scott. Different story this time around compared to the doctor in the first one, but essentially, she's recuperating, dealing with a lot of past trauma, some stuff that happened to her, gearing up for this big world tour, and of course, sets up the film having to do with the death of her friend and passing on the curse.
Yeah, interesting lore here about how the curse is passed, and we get right into that right away in this film with the opening segment at the beginning that picks up after the events of the last film with Kyle Gallner, who we remember from the last of that film, and he ended up with the curse. And here he is at the beginning of this film, and you find out how the curse eventually gets to the pop star here. And yeah, it really takes off from the beginning. It grabs you right away and doesn't really let you go. And this movie's carried by a really awesome performance from Naomi Scott here as this pop star. And a thing that I noticed right away was how awesome the cinematography was. It looks like Parker Finn has learned a lot since the first Smile, and man, there were some beautiful shots throughout this film. It's a beautiful looking film, and the parts where she's on stage and at the concerts look great. Everything about this movie just looks pristine and top notch, and that's one thing I recognize right off the bat.
I would have to agree with you, my man. Right from the get-go of the film, that's what drew me in. The cinematography, everything, how everything looks. It's a beautiful looking movie. Huge scope here. I'm at the opening shot having to do with this death of a character. He gets hit by a truck, and the way that it splattered, the body splattered out on the road, and the camera comes up like a wide shot. Smile
Yeah.
too. I thought it was awesome. Got my attention right from the beginning. I'm like, okay, this is what they're going for, like straight brutality early on. That's what they go for. And then really introducing Skye Riley. Naomi Scott, she's been through hell and back, lost her boyfriend, drug addiction, basically hit rock bottom, recuperating, coming back from that, starting fresh, starting over. And she's dealing with some pain from her, a car accident. So she's going to get some Vicodin to help with the back pain, meets up with her friend. And that's how kind of the demon gets passed on to her, having to do with this weight. Really sets up some spooky scenes in the film.
Yeah, there's some great scenes in this throughout this film, some really brutal, gory scenes and really unsettling. There's an unsettling feeling throughout the whole film. Very psychological. And, there's stretches in the movie where you don't get a lot, but you feel like it's building up to something. And at the end, it really pops off with brutality, gore, suspense, everything. There are some jump scares here, but I thought they were pretty effective. A couple times they actually got me in the theater. I was like, whoa, like, damn. Some very creepy scenes. One that I remember when she's in an apartment and then all these demons are like closing in on her. That felt
Awesome.
like an iconic horror scene, like, something that really stood out from this film that I think people are going to remember and be talking about for a long time. Everything worked in this movie for me. I felt like it built upon what they established with this curse from the first film, and the bigger scope in this film, focusing on this pop star and just how, like, she's always used to seeing people, fans coming up to her with smiling faces and wanting autographs. The feeling of her being isolated and not being able to get any privacy, everybody always depending on her, and meanwhile her personal life is like falling apart and she's barely hanging on by a thread. And then the drug use and all her past traumas come in, and like you really get like a crazy performance from Naomi Scott. She really inhabits the role and really plays this internal struggle very well throughout the film. And I could see her get nominated for this honestly, it's that good of a performance.
You said that she's channeling her inner Britney Spears, and after seeing this movie today, I totally get what you're saying, like the downfall, like having to do with mental health and addiction and a lot of stuff. This movie has a lot to say about that, dealing with trauma and fame and like everything. There's a lot of messages here that the script, the writing's really spectacular in this movie. There's a lot more to it, compared to the first movie. Skye Riley's going through top all the way down to the bottom and not really sure if she's going to make it out alive, and trying to overcome this demon and all her inner demons and past demons she's had in her life, dealing with the pressures of being famous and her mom and her staff and people that work for her. There's a lot of weight on her shoulders, and how she deals with that on top of this other demon that gets passed around from person to person. Basically, demon watches them like commit suicide and then passes that off into the witness of that suicide. And that's really kind of the same thing here, trying to stop that once and for all.
Yeah, interesting. And her family's involved. Her mom, Elizabeth, is, very overbearing on her and wants her to succeed, wants her to get on stage, and like doesn't care that she's going through all this stuff. Like she wants to get her out there no matter what. And that leads to some great scenes towards the end, when the curse comes in and the mom gets to see it in all its brutal glory. We also have a performance here from Jack Nicholson's son, Ray Nicholson, who plays her late husband. Yeah, with a great iconic smile, looks a lot like his dad. And yeah, he has a good part in this, dealing with the car accident, like you had mentioned before. There's really a lot to love about this. I love the screenplay, the performances, cinematography, a lot of great scares here, the psychological horror. You can see Parker Finn, all the influences, from past films, and doing his own thing here and making it fresh and exciting, building upon the second film. And, by the time the film ends, it leaves it open, of course, for a third one. And, you could just imagine the scope of the next one, whether he's going to go bigger or have it be more focused, maybe like the first one. It's kind of hard to say. But after seeing this, I would love to see this franchise keep going, especially since this one was even better than the first one. This one's going to be hard to top, though. I really love this movie.
Me too. I really had a great time with this. Walked out of the theater with a smile on my face too, meaning that I had a great time with it. It went by pretty quick. It's over 2 hours long. I was, really involved in this movie. I was really paying attention. I love the characters. I love Naomi Scott's character. Playing this pop star. I thought they were going to go about this like the Trap Route M. Night's movie, but it wasn't really a lot of like live performances. It's really more behind the scenes and like the relationships and everything she's going through and trying to get out of this really shitty situation. Her meeting the character of Morris, played by Peter Jacobson. He's like been paying attention. This demon basically killed his brother, so he's been on the trying to figure out who it gets passed on to, and then ends up finding Skye's character. So he's working with her. There's a lot on the line. There's a lot of different layers to this movie, past traumas and current, and a lot of messages and themes that I got out of this movie. Really incredible writing, directing in this movie, cinematography, sound design was really good. Really cool, spooky sounds you would hear only in the theater. Stuff lurking around the corner in the darkness, and some really good jump scares. I jumped a few times, few scenes, and really, really impressive horror movie during 31 Days of Horror in the month of October. Wasn't all that excited for the sequel of Smile 2. I saw a few trailers. Looked okay, but all the buzz. I'm glad I went and saw this in the theater. I had a great time with it. Pretty damn perfect all around. Maybe just cut off a little bit of the runtime. Dragged in towards a little bit at the end, but only a minor complaint for me. And Naomi Scott, absolutely a powerhouse performance in this movie and definitely worthy of getting nominated for some awards. Really incredible. So with that being said, I'm going to give Smile 2, that's currently playing in cinemas around the world, I'm going to give it a 4.5. Ooh, out of 5. Naomi Scott hair pieces.
We both completely agreed about this movie. Pretty much everything that you said, I echoed it. I thought the same thoughts as you. This is a movie that I'm definitely going to pick up for, physical media release when it comes out for sure. But this is a movie that you should go see and see it in the theaters before Halloween here, leading up to Halloween. This is a perfect time to go see it. Make Smile 2 and Terrifier 3, your 2 movies to see here in the next couple of weeks. You guys won't be disappointed. With that being said, I too am going to give Smile 2 a 4.5 out of 5 Ray Nicholson hair pieces.
I want to hear from all you wild horror enthusiasts out there. What did you like about Smile 2? What didn't you like about it? What's your favorite horror flick in 2024 thus far? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to stay. Ooh, subscribe. He's going to pull out a real weapon there.
Keep paying attention to these 31 days of horror. All Hallows Eve is coming up, and we have a giveaway winner to announce very soon. So stay tuned.
So check us out on Facebook, X, and Instagram, and our website, Cinephellas.com, for latest, greatest TV movie news and horror reviews.
That's right, Uncle Logan. Well, another 31 days of horror video down. We've only got a few days left. So until the next Cinephellas 31 Days of Horror video, I'm Uncle Henry Riley.
And I'm Parker Finn, signing out until the next horror review for 31 Days of Horror. Gee!